And a jolly good morning to you from a still dark, crisp, cool February morning here in Luton, Bedfordshire. And today I'm going to be taking what some people might call an extreme day trip. I don't particularly think it's extreme because I'm staying within Europe just about. I'm going to take a day trip from here in Luton over to Albania, Tirana in particular. And should get about 5 hours there to have a little look around that city. I'm going to do two videos today, one regarding the journey, which I'm starting here outside the Hampton by Hilton on Kimpton Road in Luton. I'm going to take the opportunity to jump on the bus up to the airport for the very reasonable price of £2, as opposed to going into the airport, into the railway station there and taking the Dart up to the airport at a cost of about £5. So here comes the bus, and there went the bus. Thanks to, as Del Boy would say, the plonker who's parked his van on double yellow lines right at the bus stop. The bus driver couldn't see. I can't really blame the bus driver, but right, well that's not a good start, is it? Anyway, there's another one along in a couple of minutes, so I shall wait for that. Of course, that is the downside of taking the £2 fare. You stood on a busy and today quite chilly road, waiting for it, whereas it's slightly more salubrious, only slightly, inside the railway station or at the Dart stop. So I shall wait here. I'll come back to you once I get up to the airport. Tirana, here we come, hopefully. Right, so first things first, that'll work well. Of course, it's only 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. The buses are just starting to pick up frequency. If you're going to be arriving in Luton in the middle of the night, you might want to do some homework on the timings of the buses. Right, that was £2. It's still capped at £2 at the moment, all bus fares in the UK. I believe normally it's not much more than £2 anyway from where I got on the bus. So use Google Maps just to find out what's what. Plan for worst case scenario of £5 each to go on the little Dart up from the station, or save yourself a few quid by coming on the bus, whichever suits. If you're going to go on a inexpensive day trip to Europe, you don't want to spend 10 times more than your airfare on parking your car at the airport, so very probably an idea to do a little bit of homework with that. Anyway, I say it's middle of February, it's half term in some places, it's very off peak in most others, so I'll go and see how busy Luton Airport is this morning. Last time I was up here, which is a while now, I've not been up here for a few months, it was an awful lot busier than this. And right, let's go. Let's see how we get on this morning. Oh yeah, very quiet. Won't be a great queue to get a coffee like last time I was in here. So that's my first port of call. And I'm going to head through security. Obviously, this is a day trip. All I've got is one small backpack. No wheelie bag, no checked luggage, no pre-assigned seat, or pre-booked seat in advance at least. The airline did that, so kept the cost down to the absolute bare minimum. And for the record, this day trip to Albania came in at £19. I think it was something like £9.99 one way and £8.99 the other way. Can't remember precisely which was which. It's a Tuesday, which is always a good day for things like this, and I booked it around about a month in advance. If I'd booked this flight yesterday, it would have been costing nearer to £100. So if you use a search engine such as Skyscanner, and leave your options open, then you can come up with some absolutely fantastic deals. In particular, I've noticed that Stansted is particularly good for that. Ryanair, if you're again open to where you go to on these sorts of trips, often have some really good deals if you put Stansted into the search choice, if that airport is easy for you. Luton is by far my easiest airport to get to, if it's just a little ad hoc mini trip here and there, so which is why I'm here today. The options are slightly less. Of course, the logistics of these things mean that if you want to go to somewhere for the day, there needs to be at least a flight going out in the morning and one coming back in the evening or very late afternoon. Otherwise, there's not much point in going. You'll be going straight there and straight back. So that does once again limit the number of places you can go to. And for some reason on a Tuesday, Wizz Air seem to have quite a few flights to Tirana. So that's why we're here. I've got my eye on one or two other places to come up with in the coming months. I shall be putting those out as soon as I do them. Anyway, there's everyone popping all their liquids into their plastic bags, etc, etc. None of that for me today. Straight through security, hopefully. Won't take too long, and that much needed coffee will be mine. See you through the other side. Okie dokie. Right, so yeah, not massively busy here this morning at Luton, but still a fair old few. And what can I tell you, I inadvertently managed to get myself into the part of security screening that has the new scanners, the ones that you've heard about, that have been installed here, there and just about everywhere, where you don't need to take your liquids out, you don't need to take your laptop out, etc, etc. I did get my bag did get nipped to one side for secondary screening, which was promptly handed back to me once it had been looked at. So all part and parcel of the installation process and the training of the staff, I dare say, but it was all very quick, very efficient, very polite, very friendly, just as you'd expect it to be. And I'm not too sure how quick it is over on the other side at the moment, in the section where you will have to take your laptops out and your liquids out. The sooner all these airports have all of this across all of their terminals and all of their security areas, the better, and then at least we'll all know where we are. But we are in that transition phase, I guess, at the moment, which means you can't be too you can't rely on going through those particular scanners with regards to liquids in particular. Anyway, we're in here. Flight is still showing us on time. I need a coffee. Not much else to say really. It'll be a Wizz Air flight, no bells and buzzers pre-booked or paid for, and a budget airline flight is a budget airline flight. So unless there's particularly interesting things to tell you about or show you, I shan't come back until I'm on the way and have a little look at the arrival process in Tirana. Which reminds me, with regards to Tirana, I had a little look. Obviously there's the ubiquitous taxis available. Other than that, it seems to be a bus, and according to Google Maps at least, it's only once an hour on the hour every hour, in both directions, from the city centre back to the airport and also from the airport to the city centre. You can pre-book your ticket, you can pay in local currency or euros to the driver. I'm going to go and sit down somewhere and pre-book my ticket just to save any messing about, in case there's any hurrying or anything like that to catch the bus. I don't want to be hanging around for an additional hour, but all things considered, with the timings of this flight, presuming that there won't be huge delays getting through immigration at Tirana, I should make the 1200 bus into the city, hopefully. If not, it'll be the next one. Let's see how we get on. So coffee is required, and I shan't be stopping in the duty-free shop. Is anyone still shopping these places? Looks like they do. Wow, okay. One thing I've noticed over the years that's become a bit of a thing with low-cost airlines, with the proliferation of people just taking wheelie bags, because it tends to be cheaper than checking in checked luggage. is the huddle around the screens around about the time they tell you they're going to announce the gate, because those with wheelie bags like to get in that priority queue as near to the front as they can, so they can get their bag in the overhead locker right above their heads. Saves an awful lot of messing about once you get to the other end. I don't need to bother with that today. I've got no priority. I'll be the non-priority queue. I've got no luggage. I've got no need for any overhead lockers. I can swan in at the last, should I wish, but it is always worth remembering that with someone like, well, a lot of the airports really, but unless you get some sort of heads up from staff which gate the flight's going to be going from, you could be going off in one of two or sometimes three directions to your gate, and you know what it's like if you're a family, small children, or those that are less mobile, it can take quite a while. So it's quite often, I'm absolutely staggered actually how busy it is now. I'm in the departure lounge. I used to work at Luton Airport many years ago, long before it had been developed into the airport it is now, and even before the days of EasyJet, believe it or not. So this time of year used to be traditionally very quiet indeed. A couple of ski flights, maybe a few flights heading off to the Costa del Sol and the Canary Islands, but now it's just a massive list of places with likes of Wizz Air in particular, EasyJet and Ryanair. Certainly turned into a low-cost budget airline airport, and it is very busy this morning, which is good to see, very good to see. There's certainly an interesting number of children knocking about, so it's the week before half term where I live. I'm presuming it's half term in some other parts of the country. Either that or the head teacher's given some of these kids a pass out. Seems to be a bit of work going on here to build more retail outlets and so on and so forth that weren't here last time. In fact, was that a Frankie and Ben, is it called? Last time? I think it probably was. Looks like it's changing to a hawker bar, whatever one of those is. And another hawker bar there. So, yeah, seems to be one or two changes. But that's the beauty of airports, particularly if you don't come through them on a regular basis. There's usually quite a lot of changes once you reappear at one. And if you don't go for a few years, they tend to be unrecognisable from the last time. Bit early for McDonald's, Burger King. Do Burger King do breakfasts? Not sure they do. Can't ever remember. Certainly shan't be having a flame grilled Whopper at 6:30 in the morning. That's my breakfast. Well, of course, as luck would have it, I'm stood right by the gate I need. No heads up from anybody, just happened to be there. But of course, if I'd got two small children, 5 suitcases, and a load of other fractious fellow passengers with me that needed to go to the opposite end of the airport, I would have been exactly that, the opposite end of the airport. But there you go, that's what do we call it? Murphy's Law, Sod's Law, I don't know. But there we go, gate number 26, Wizz Air flight to Tirana, and just by complete fluke, I happen to be stood by it. But there is no hurry today, not for me at least anyway. But the wheelie bag must get an overhead locker. Guys will be wanting to race through, and here they go.
to the flight, so he'll to give you an update on the latest time of arrival and weather in Tirana, but for now, please sit back, relax.
Well, there we go, and here we are. So that was a pretty standard Wizz Air flight. Crew very nice, they usually are on Wizz Air. Very efficient, got on with the job, and we got here round about 20 minutes ahead of schedule. Straight into the arrivals hall. My British passport worked the automated immigration counter, which it doesn't do in the UK, of course. And then I always have to go for a secondary look with immigration officers, and that will happen tonight when I get back to Luton, 100% guaranteed. But here on the ground, off the plane, through the automated barriers and out walking towards the bus in a little over 5 minutes. So there you go, welcome to Albania. I'm going to make the bus ride into town now, and then as soon as I get there, that will end this particular video. I'll resume it later on for the journey back home, and I shall commence another one, part 2 of this trip, which will be Tirana itself. Hopefully I'm heading to the right place for the buses. There is a sign and lots of buses with Tirana on the top of it, so I'm guessing that's the one. I shall find my bus and head into town. Oh, and it's a very nice 16 degrees Celsius today. I'm glad I popped a pair of shorts in my bag with me just in case it gets any warmer later on. And here we are, finally in the centre of Tirana, Albania. The bus is built to take approximately 30 to 35 minutes, and in reality it took more or less an hour, about 55 minutes to be precise. The traffic in the centre of the city was very, very busy. I presume it's like that most of the time, so just bear that one in mind if you're coming in on the bus. And that's it for this part of this particular video. I shall resume in a few hours time when I head back to the airport and onwards back to Luton to complete part 1 of this 2-part day trip to Albania. There will be a separate video which will be out approximately about a week's time from now, which will be the centre of Tirana, which I'm about to go and explore now. So I'll be back in 5 hours. For you it will be about 5 seconds. And here we are, just a second later. I've been here for about 5 to 6 hours having a look around Tirana. That's a separate video that you can go and have a look at in about a week's time if you're watching this on the day it comes out. If you're not, then it's probably already out. But we're back here at the central bus stop, and hopefully that's a bus to the airport somewhere over there if I can get across the road. It is chaos in the centre of Tirana, it has to be said. but quite good fun. I'm not sure if they do only go once an hour, according to Google, that's what it says. So I've come back, it's just gone 5 o'clock, so hopefully I can get one of these here. Right, so there we go. Made it back to the airport, or at least a car park close to the airport where the bus drops you off. It was a lot quicker coming out of the city than it was going in earlier on. And even though the traffic was bad, it was done in more like 40 minutes as opposed to getting on for an hour like before. Right, the rundown on the bus. It's quite easy to find the bus stop in the centre of Tirana. It's very easy to find it here at the airport too, so no problems with that. It's you can book your ticket online. It's €4 each way, or 400 lek. You can pay the bus driver or the ticket conductor on board the bus if you wish. There's no reservations, just turn up, get on, and they, well, from what I can see, they just seem to have sufficient buses operating, and if more people turn up, they just run another bus. So, and it does seem to just run on the hour, but as long as you're aware of that, then no problem at all. So I'm going to head back into the airport now, see how quickly I can get through the formalities. It was very, very quick coming in here, as previously mentioned, and see how we get on going back out and riding back to Luton. First thing I've noticed actually is the vast array of car rental companies that there are here. All the usual, there's Avis, Budget, Dollar, etc. And then as you go further down there's just more and more of them, probably ones that you haven't heard of before. But this is where you would come, actually leave the airport building itself. And just as I'm heading back in now, there's the KFC and sort of cafe and bar here on the right hand side. It's quite busy up here actually, and so I'm going to go through to departures as quick as I can, because I'm very thirsty now, and I don't want to buy a drink and then have to throw it away again if liquids aren't allowed, which I'm presuming will be the case. That's the arrivals anyway, that's busy. Departures will be round this way somewhere. Of course, all these things on the outside of the airport terminal, by way of a kind of an extension I suppose, as it's got busier over the years, doesn't really matter very much, because it's the climate here is fairly warm most of the time, fairly nice weather down here in southern Europe. Certainly been a very nice day here today, and when I was, if you see my other video, you'll see the lake I walked around just on the outskirts of the city. So many people sat outside having a drink and a chat at cafes, etc. So considering we're in the middle of February and back home, it would involve having patio heaters. That's not bad going. Well, that has started to cool off now. It is it's 5:45 in the evening, and it's gone dark and starting to feel a little bit chilly. One thing that perhaps I should mention is that when I checked in for this flight online, as you're required to do, and that applies to most of the other budget airlines, it said that mobile boarding cards weren't available at this airport. That's the boarding card that you have on your iPhone or whatever, and to print it out. So I was able to do that, and I've got a printed out copy here. What I don't know is if you don't have the facility to print anything out, if you've come to Albania for a few weeks, you won't be checking in your return flight until you actually get here. So I'm presuming that you're able to go up to the check-in desk and get your boarding card printed off for free. I know certain airlines do start charging you for that kind of thing when you turn up at the airport minus a boarding card or haven't checked in properly. I don't honestly know. I have actually printed my boarding card off anyway, so I should just go through to security in a minute. There is the check-in desks, and I've noted a few people coming away from the check-in desk with printed boarding cards and still got their luggage, their wheelie bags. So ordinarily, if they've got a mobile boarding card, they wouldn't have gone to the check-in desk. So presuming it doesn't cost anything, as the facility doesn't exist here. If I hear different, I'll let you know, but I'm going to head through security now and go and see what I can spend my last few lek on. Well, departing was just about as quick as arriving. There was a fair queue at the security, but it was moving very quick. No messing about. I didn't see anyone having to get liquids out of their bags, so I presume they've got the updated scanners here too. I've not got any liquids with me, so I didn't get even asked the question. In fact, I didn't get asked the question, so I guess that is the answer. And then straight through the automated barriers for passport control, which seems to be anyone with an EU, British or US passport. It looks like the people with Albanian passports have to queue up and see an immigration official properly, and that had quite a long queue, although it seemed to be moving fairly quickly. But anyway, yeah, if you come with a British or EU passport, you're straight in, straight out, no problems whatsoever, no queuing up for stamps and all that kind of thing, as it is in the Schengen area at the moment. Anyway, I'm just going to go now and go and spend the last few Albanian coins that I have and get a drink and whatever from the way home on the plane. So the aircraft's on its way from Luton, all on time, so I'm expecting an on-time departure from here, which is great news indeed. I find it interesting there's still a Santa's grotto here with an invite to go and see Father Christmas. Santa's village. Looks like it's semi-wound down. Or is it early for next year? Who knows? Well, it seems a reasonably well appointed, if not quite small airport. It's very busy in here, but probably could do with a bit of an extension. Maybe that's underway. There's plenty of space around the airport for them to do stuff like that, so maybe one day that will be happening. Certainly plenty of choices of food outlets and places to get a drink with the usual overpriced well, overly priced items. Of course, we're in an airport. So I'm going to leave it for now. I'll finish this video off if anything else happens between now and I'm sure the equally on time and pleasant journey back to Luton with Wizz Air. If there's anything to report, I shall report it. Otherwise, I'll see you in Luton. And that was it, a cracking trip back to Luton. The Wizz Air flight from Tirana left on time and arrived into Luton 20 minutes early, and despite the fact the aircraft parked on a remote stand and required buses back to the terminal, there was no queues at immigration, and in fact from the moment the aircraft pulled on stand to me arriving at my front door was precisely 60 minutes, which was a minor miracle in itself. So well done to Wizz Air, well done to Luton Airport. That's exactly how it should be every time. Unfortunately, as we know, for various reasons it's not, but never mind. It was a great day out in Tirana. If you want to see my video of the city itself, then please check that out. It will be released approximately a week after this one, so if this has been out more than a week, it's out there somewhere to go and have a look at. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to press the bell, like,